This little guy I got from TEMU. I got it free, but you can get them for, I don't know, about $3. You can get a pack of 5 for less than $10. It's really cheap plastic. The hooks are so cheap that when I took them off, I accidentally dropped one, this one. And then when I pushed my chair back and stepped back, I actually stepped on it with no weight and bent it. So the hooks are pretty cheap, so you'll have to replace them. Although I did see in the reviews that some guy said he caught a 4-pound bass on it. Which, yeah, they could. I mean, they're not going to bend them, but they are pretty wimpy, so I wouldn't rely on the hooks too much if you do decide to buy one. I got it because I bought a bunch of hardware. Hardware meaning swivels, ringlets, eye ringlets that you thread in, just hardware for lure making and stuff like that. A bunch of leaders, wire leaders, just things that you might as well, because it's a cheap place to buy them. And because I bought a bunch of stuff like that, they offered me to pick out 3 items for free, and this was one of them. So, but we're gonna destroy it. We're gonna tear it apart. I don't like this swivel. It doesn't work right. It doesn't. You gotta help it so it's sticky. It's not working like it's supposed to, and I don't understand brake action on a mouse. This I don't understand even more so. I've never seen a mouse dive, but this might have a lot to do with making it do this. But it's just not smooth. It catches If you push up on it, then it works perfect. But otherwise, no. This should work perfect if you just turn them like this. You should just flip, 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 flip. Surprisingly, the tail is really put together better than the actual lure. I just went, this is to me extra thin. It's just like thinner than water almost. And took this brush right here and just brushed this whole thing and let it soften. This glue will. It's made for putting model cars together. 1/25th scale model cars. But it kind of softens the plastic enough where it bonds the 2 pieces together. So I ran it all along everywhere, just almost soaked all this with it, so it would melt the plastic a little bit around this string, and then also made the string a little more waterproof. It's still flexible. It's still, you can tie this in a knot if you wanted to. And just put a really thin coat of glue over everything and soften the plastic enough where it's sealed, where the glue went down inside each little spot. But as you can see, it's still flexible. This works better than the actual lure. But it's got, all they did was, it's got a hole here, and they shoved it through there and then shoved the pin through. So I sanded each side a little bit and did the same thing with this glue and just let it run down inside. That's why it looks so messy right there, because I just sanded it really quick. But anyway, this is going to be cut in half, and I'm going to take the hardware out of it and then fuse the 2 pieces together as one, and then we're going to cut this off. You can see I kind of made guy lines already right there. That's where the plastic thickens up, where it comes into the actual lure, the mold itself. It thickens up quite a bit right there. Or you can probably see it now. So I just went ahead, I'm going to leave that for a little bit of extra strength, especially since the line screws in right here. That'll give it a little bit of, if it bumps the bottom a little bit, which, coming into the shoreline or whatever, if you're close to a shoreline, or bumping it up against the side of a boat or something. So it might protect your line a little bit if I leave a little bit of it there. So I will replace the hooks, of course. These look like about size 6 or 8, maybe 8, but I'll put a little bit bigger hooks on them, not too big because I don't want the tail to get hooked into this, although I think it would come right out if it did. But that's our plan. When I got it, I knew right away just from the paint job that I was going to do something with it. I mean, green, where the whiskers go. Who thought of that? The pink's okay, although it's a little more neon than it needs to be. But I think it's the same pink they used on this. The airbrush guy had a bad day that day. He just kind of good, threw it in the box, called it good. Assembly line. Could you imagine go to work every day and you have a little airbrush and all you do is spray 3 things on this lure and move on, grab another one all day long? Wow. No thanks. But anyway, that's our plan. We're going to tear this thing apart. Sorry, TEMU, but we're going to make this American style. Starting now. Well, I'm pretty positive that this is going to be annoying to listen to. So I think what I'll do is probably tell you what I'm going to do, and then when I start to do it, maybe throw on some music or something. We'll see. But I want to cut this off. I don't need a mouse that dives. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it was done to make it so it helps do the wiggle thing. Because if you reel that slow across the top, it would do that. But we're not going to have this, so we don't need this. So here we go. I got my eye protection on, so I don't need the comments and all that. I'm actually going to flip my mask down too. But anyway, here we go. Get her done. This should go relatively quickly. Turn the speed up, it would just go, but it would also melt and stink more so than it is. It's cutting it. Just wanted to make sure I made a guideline so it wouldn't jerk out of my hand. Break it off pretty soon. Quickly as that's one side. Pretty brittle acrylic, so, or some kind of polystyrene maybe, but I'm stopping because I actually cut through the seam line. This is 2 pieces. Both these pieces are 2 pieces put together. There's a ball on this side, which I might take out. But I just wanted to make sure that when I crossed that, it didn't split it to the point of separation. And it doesn't look like it did. I did run a bead of glue all the way around that thin glue. I just ran it real thin, just in case there was any separation at all, that we get down in there and fuse this plastic right together, like right now. Alright, let's continue. This is on speed 2, in case you guys are wondering what I'm doing here. It should go a little quicker because I'm not cutting near as much plastic. Front. We have the basic shape cut out. Just get all the little hairs that melt. High speed, all those little hairs would end up all over this room. So that's why I did it low speed, so it just kind of slowly cuts it, keeps it in a pile. But that's already better than that huge, giant lip that looks like it's smiling now. So now all we need to do is just touch it up by using the edge. These are really thick cutters. I got these, gosh, I can't remember. I think, actually, I do remember, but it's a lengthy story. I bought them online from another guy. We were both doing the same hobby. But anyway, I'm going to use the edge of the front of it, I guess. Not the cutting edge, but the disc itself, and just round it off. These are really thick. These are good quality. And I'm going to do it on number 1 speed with the cut going away from me, so I don't get any of the stuff in my face or near my face. Just kind of round it off the edges a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly to my line at all. It doesn't have to be. Just want to get an even round shape. I might have to go up in speed a little bit. Let's do that. Start the edge back here, round it off a little bit. A lot of this is going to be done by hand. I'm just getting the basic shape of it so I don't have to file so damn long. I just want to tuck it around where, it's not so square. I want to make it nice and round on the edge there, going back into the body of the lure. And just bring it around and bring it down. And then round off the front lip all the way around. Talking like I've done this before, and I have never done this before, so I've cut lips off, but I've never done this part before. Touch up right back here like I did the other side. Round it off. I'm just barely touching the plastic to the grinder. slowly do what I want it to do. Let's take a look at it quick. Get all the hairs off so we can know how even it is all the way around. As long as we have the general basic shape, you know, the round and the cut with this, the rest will be fine-tuning with little mini files. That's looking pretty good right there. Yeah. Because you try to do the finesse work with this and you always get just a little too much, then you got to go over to this side, then pretty soon you're back and forth, and you have nothing left to work with. So leave your lines so you can see them, and then it gives you something to work with your hand files. Okay, we'll get back to that. Let's hack this puppy in half now. I was going to hack it in half first, but I thought I need something to hang on to while I'm doing this, and I'm kind of glad I did that. This, let's see, I think the best approach is just to get a good grip on it. Let's see. I got to be able to get it so I can get it down in here like this without that happening. Because if it slips out of my hand and goes flying, it could go flying anywhere. So I need to be able to firm grip on it like I got. It can't go anywhere now. And then I need to work this down in here. It's good to practice first so you know how much room you got on both sides, and you know how, because you get it in there and it does a little twist on you, it'll hit the sides of the lure and screw that all up. So I want to be able to practice this and see where I need to be, which is right there. My hand's out of the way. Okay, so I can get to that one right there pretty easy. I can come over here and get to that one. Alright, let's do this. All the mothers in the world right now are going, oh my god, I'm going to cut his freaking hand off. This side will be actually a little easier, so I can see it, for one, closer to my eyes, but I can get a firmer grip. Would have been smarter to turn it off before I pulled it out of there, but alright, now we just gotta wiggle this bad boy up out of there. This one's gonna be stubborn. Oh, how odd. There, that did it. The other one came right out nice. Actually, it broke in two places. Okay, now grab these pliers. Pull the rest of it apart as much as I can. Thinking we're onto something here. Let's grind these down. work with that. Better already. I need to do it in here. Okay, I need to change bits on the Dremel. I'll be right back.